Good morning, students. I am Prakash Tripathi and today I am going to explain you the 5th chapter of your book Vistas, Should Wizard Hit Mummy? This story is written by John Updike in 1959 and the major characters of this story are written on the board. Jack is a very loving father. He loves telling stories to his daughter. He is a very good storyteller, and by telling stories to his daughter, he wants to give some moral values, some good things he wants to teach his daughter through the stories. Joan, in a short form it is a Jo, is a 4-year girl who is the daughter of Jack, loves listening story, but now she has started asking some questions in between the story session. Claire is the wife of Jack's and she is pregnant. Wizard is another character who performs a magic spell and solves the problem of the woodland creatures. You would come across that. And one of the major characters is Skunk. Skunk is a cat-sized American mammal with black, white striped fur. The special feature of this animal is that it emits very foul smell when it is attacked. Actually, the lesson Should Wizard Hit Mummy is a children's story dealing with the very serious theme of good parenting and the adult tendency to curb the questioning mind of a child, the curious mind of a child. Jack is a father who every evening and especially for the Saturday naps tells story to his daughter out of his mind. Out of his mind means he does not tell the very conventional stories. He creates a story in his mind, and every day he has some or other stories for his daughter. The basic tale is the same. The basic tale is that there is a woodland creature. The name of the creature is always Roger monkey, Roger fish, Roger squirrel, etc. That woodland creature has a problem, and the creature goes to wise owl to solve the problem, and the owl directs him to go to the wizard. The wizard performs some magic spell and finally solves the problem of the Roger animal. And he always demands his fees, and always he demands the money or fees which is more than what the Roger animal has with him. And in the same breath he directs that animals to go to the magic well, and there he gets the remaining money to pay his fees. And then the animal hears the whistle of the train coming from Boston. The father comes and the animal goes to his home, and they have a lot of food and all, and the story ends. Now this Jo, the girl, she is 4-year-old, but now she has started asking some questions in between the story session. She is not a very small child also, and she sometimes raises a very important question also. And his father is annoyed by the questions asked by his daughter. So one day when her father told him, what is the hero of the story today, about whom do you want to hear the story, the daughter think, and then she says Roger Skunk. She must have heard this animal's name in the school or her nursery. So that is why she says Roger Skunk. Now Jack is very enthusiastic now because he has got a new creature and he wants to give his daughter some interesting moral lesson through the story. So he starts the story that in a forest there lived an animal named Roger Skunk, and he used to give very foul smell. As a result, all the woodland creature would run away from him whenever he used to go to play with them. While telling this story, Jack remembers his own childhood, some of the humiliations he has faced during his childhood. The girl is very excited. She wants to know what is going to happen. And she tells, owl, owl, owl. Means now the creature would go to the owl. Jack is little bit annoyed because the girl was interfering him while telling the story. Okay, now the Roger skunk goes to owl and the owl directs him to go to the wizard. And when he goes to the wizard also says, you are giving a very foul smell, just go away from here. In between, the girl starts asking many questions. For example, once when Jack told her that spider eats bugs, she turned to her mother and asked, Mummy, do they really eat? And when her mother told her that God lives in the heaven, she asked her father, do really gods live in the heaven? So these were the questions asked by the daughter in between the story session. When the animal reaches wizard's house, the wizard asks him, which smell do you want? You are giving a very foul smell. Now what type of smell do you want? The Roger skunk told him that I want to smell like roses. And he performed a magic spell, and within a few minutes the whole room started smelling like a rose. The foul smell disappeared from Roger skunk and he started smelling like a rose flower. Now the girl is very happy. She thinks that now the problem is solved, because Roger skunk goes to the animals, his playmates, and they also welcomed him. They played all sorts of games that day. Roger skunk enjoyed this day because now he was welcomed by all the woodland creatures, just because his foul smell had disappeared. As usual, the girl, who is 4-year-old, she thinks that now story is over. Generally, when the problem of the creature is solved, the generally story comes to an end. And she started fussing. And at this point, Jack gets annoyed. Actually, one of the special character of Jack is that he does not like female when they take anything for granted. He likes them a little bit apprehensive. Today, when the girl took it for granted that the story is over, he starts to stretch the story. He wants to bring a twist in the story, and purposely he extends the story just because his daughter had taken it for granted that story is over. And then he says to his daughter, listen carefully. Now this is a very interesting story, so you should pay attention. When the skunk went to his house, his mummy got very angry because his child was not smelling as a Roger skunk should smell. She got angry and asked, who made you smell like this? And when she came to know that wizard has done all this, she got angry and took her umbrella and straight away went to the wizard and hit him hard on the head of the wizard and told him to change the smell of her son. Now the little girl is a little bit annoyed. She thinks that this mummy is very stupid. Why is she forcing the wizard to change the smell of the skunk? But Jack says no. His mother knows very well what is good for Roger skunk. Actually, students, I would like to tell you that the foul smell which the skunk used to emit from his body was the armor of that skunk animal. Because whenever it was attacked by some other animals, the skunk sprays the foul smell on the other animal who attacks them, and that is a way to save itself. So the mother knows well what is good for the skunk, and she forces the wizard to change the smell. The wizard again performs the magic smell, and the original smell of the Roger skunk is restored. In other words, skunk started smelling bad once again. Now the girl is not happy with this ending of the story. She forces her father to change the story, and she requests him that, "Father, please next day you will tell the story that wizard goes to the mummy and he hit on the head of the mummy and refuses to change the smell." That is why the title of the story is "Should Wizard Hit Mummy?" But Jack is adamant. Sorry. He says no, this is not the ending of the story. Because there is a point in that. Roger skunk loves his mother more than he loves the woodland creatures. For him, his mother is important. So anyway, Jack tells his daughter that now you go to sleep. I will see what happens next day. But the girl is disturbed. She is unable to sleep. She is not ready to accept the bitter truth of the story. On the other hand, Jack's wife Claire, she is pregnant, 6 months pregnant, and she is doing household work. She is painting something, some wooden furniture and all. Now Jack is utterly tired. He is so tired because he has to tell the story to his daughter. It was a really fatiguing work. And he wants to help his wife because she needs his help. But he is so tired that he does not want to touch her. He does not want to speak to her. Does not want to do anything. And there he finds himself caught in an ugly middle position. There is a very interesting question. Why is he caught in an ugly middle position? Because today he was not able to convince his daughter through the story. The daughter is upset. She thinks that story is rubbish, nonsense. And he fails to help his wife in such situation. That is why he finds himself caught in a middle position. Now, dear students, the story raises a very important moral issue. Should the parent take the decisions about their children, or the children should think according to their own way? This is the very important moral issue that story raises. And in the beginning only I told you, it deals with the very serious themes of good parenting and the tendency of the parents to curb the curiosity and the questioning mind of a child. So generally parents knows very well what is good for their children, but sometimes they should be given some liberty. I think children also should ask their parents. They should also raise questions, and the parent should solve their curiosity. Their curious mind should be solved or answered. So that is the complete story. I hope I have tried to explain you each and everything. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.